5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are 60. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our next Christmas movie, and a fine time to choose this one because it's the 60th anniversary this year of the Thunderbird series. And what better way to celebrate than watching one of its movies? More specifically, the first ever one involving the Super Marionation puppets. Welcome to 1965's Thunderbirds Are Go.
Well, I guess in different countries it came out in 66 because the copy where I got mentions that.
Possibly, because, all the stuff about
film
releases, especially back in the 60s. So, at this time, the Thunderbirds TV show was doing pretty well on British TV, so well that they decided to make a movie based off it, which got the backing of all the people behind the TV show, including Jerry and his then wife Sylvia Anderson, who co-wrote the script. And it stars almost all of the cast on the TV show. One of them couldn't make the film, so they had to replace him with someone else.
So surely with this being a movie, that would mean we'd see an uptick in the effects and budget, even if it is still using puppets.
It's in widescreen, and hey, the show is known for tense, hard action. For tense action, in spite of each episode being 50 minutes at the time, which was a bit unusual back then. So, are you ready for the rip-roaring and fast-paced excitement?
I mean, why not?
I can feel my heart leaping from its chest.
Well, tough, because you're going to have to put up with a really, really, really slow film.
We can't do it.
I'm sorry, that seems to go completely against what you described the series as.
I mean, Christmas is a time also to get cozy, so who knows about that? Tell us where we should be starting with, please.
All right, so start just before the MGM logo comes up, and everyone's ready?
Go on.
Strap in. 3, 2, 1, go.
This is actually not our...
I already did that joke.
So this is not our first romp with Thunderbirds. Ages ago, we did the 2004 film. I cannot remember that film, but I do recall it had Vanessa Hudgens, so if we ever do a re-commentary of that, I'll make sure to tie it to High School Musical somehow.
We also did the parody of this, of course, by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, Team America War Police. I get the idea we watched this movie specifically to parody that, because if I were to look it up a bit in preparations, also the font used for westerns, okay? And the style is practically the same that was used for Team America, so yeah, more so than Captain Scarlet.
Guys, part of the title is covering itself.
It's stylish. Shush.
It's the 60s,
get it, Joe? It's style.
It's the 60s, Drova. We have to pretend to be happy in order to ignore the horrors of Cold War.
God, Tracy, when did you become a puppet?
Is that a reference to something?
Oh my god, Virgil Tracy, you're a puppet too! What's happening to all these people?
They kidnapped everyone.
And turned them into Super Marionation puppets.
So I had to ask Dweebs the obligatory question. This was before the mass merchandising of products, but was there a toy line based on this franchise at the time of this movie?
Yes.
Makes sense when you think about it.
Lady Penelope. Who's the only one who I guess had someone drive for her.
That music thing just then kind of makes Parker look like the bad guy.
Zero X.
Yep.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I got a question to ask of you. Do you like watching pieces of a ship come together?
I mean, hey, Power Rangers, Transformers,
I guess
a lot of
what
Sentai
this means
shows.
Very slowly.
Well, do you like a sequence like that takes nearly 10 minutes?
So it's kind of like...
I checked, it was part of the problem with Star Trek The Motion Picture.
I was about to say, Dweebs, have you pulled up Star Trek The Motion Picture by accident?
No, because this one doesn't star a piece of shit.
Okay, so let me guess. In order to expand this truly out to movie length,
Expand
they
being
do a lot
being
of
a very
stuff.
appropriate term. Jesus, that length.
One of the issues that really seems to plague adapting a TV show to a movie while telling an original story, I should add on at the end. They think that by bigger is better, they mean just stretch stuff out to be longer.
I get the
So I'm
idea also,
guessing-
Dreams,
That's
that
not how that works.
I get also the idea, Dreams, that they were particularly proud of these modeling and puppetry, so they wanted to make sure to show it as much as possible and from different angles to, make advantage of what they had built for it.
And it has absolutely nothing to do with the phallic stature, we're sure.
There is actually a connection to my local area with this franchise because it was commissioned by Associated Television back in 1965, or ATV, which at this time, 65, or 66, I should say, because this is when this film came out, was broadcasting to my region, the Midlands, on weekdays specifically. It didn't go a full week till a few years later.
Interesting. So, like I posited before, production-wise, is anything about this particularly advanced aside from the widescreen, or is this pretty much the sort of stuff you'd see in the show, production budget-wise?
Yeah, it's a bigger budget version of the show.
Like, is the quality of the models a bit better than the ones that was in the series proper?
I think so. Well, I mean, it would have to be. You're making a movie.
So it's basically like the Simpsons movie, just an episode stretched.
And speaking of the 60th anniversary celebrations, actually, not too long ago, ITV and Anderson Entertainment, who own the Thunderbirds IP, well, ITV more so specifically, released a couple of episodes of the show shown back to back in 4K.
So what? If we were considered potentially lost media and they were found again?
Oh no, they weren't lost media. They just put them in. They just took 2 episodes, converted them to 4K and showed them in cinemas. One of the screenings of which I went to.
That's
Specifically, the episodes are Trapped in the Sky and Terror in New York City.
Some might consider it cheating that we're including the logos in this time, but screw it. We're over 5 minutes in, and we are still working on putting this ship together, whatever it's supposed to be.
I mean, it does look cool, admittedly.
Well, okay, since the movie's going to take a while to explain it, I'll just do it. It's not spoiling anything. Yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, I say the movie takes a while to explain it, and he just bit my argument in the arse. Yeah, it's a Martian exploration vehicle.
Similar to Captain Scarlet, the humans are in war against aliens, in this case the Martians, and they're using their special vehicles.
No, not in this series, they're not.
Okay.
Oh, so who are the main bad guys of Thunderbirds, then?
We'll see one of them later on in the movie.
So I guess it's a case where, since this is a movie, they wanted to amp up the stakes by introducing a new threat.
Well, the stakes
I don't know, so that's why I'm asking a question.
Well, yeah, and I just answered it. You wish.
Wow. Captain, can't you just sit up from there and walk over?
No, we want to show off how impressive our effects are.
For something that I learned is that if the captain sits in the comfiest chair, they will not get up.
He's like,
that's
Agent
not good
White.
For your back.
I swear, Agent White's seat in Captain Scarlet is just glued.
It's kind of like the video game for the GameCube Geist, where the bad guy is taking him a wheelchair, but then it's revealed towards the end that he can just stand up.
So wait, by costly, do you mean money or time?
Yes.
Because either one I can buy.
Well, maybe time is money for these dudes.
So, okay, would you say this movie at least does a good job of introducing someone who's completely new to Thunderbirds?
Well, I mean, Thunderbirds is a pretty simple series to grasp anyway, so
Like a bunch of, basically, from what I can understand, Thunderbirds is basically a show about these agents who all man different vehicles to save the day from. Okay, from what I'm not sure, I think it may have been terrorists or bad guys or
well,
something.
accidents in general, and
Oh, so they're
also
kind
the
of
odd
like rescue heroes.
deliberate disaster. Yeah, I mean, they're called International Rescue.
So there were never really antagonists to the show, were there?
Oh no, there were.
I guess it's more of
But
a
how-
drama that Team America, when parodying this, deliberately reconverted the premise to work against the war on terror to make it more simple.
Oh wow! So we weren't done with putting that ship together. No, we had to add this extra bulky piece.
I mean, I guess it can work as a good tutorial for actually assembling yourself the toy if you have it.
Oh wait, no! It just breaks up to that
No.
little
Remember,
chunk.
yeah,
Oh,
because
right.
that one has to join the main.
Yeah,
the main
the
monster.
spaceship still isn't set up yet.
I'll admit, I thought it was going to be that big bulky blue structure.
No, it did not have the wings on the side.
Yeah, we're nearly 10 minutes in. They still haven't built the bloody ship yet.
I mean, they're
Hey,
not
This
even
is
the
this
opening-
is Buy Our Toys, the movie, I
This is,
suppose.
the credits are not even done with. It's not even just the actual, ship. Even the movie is not done, introducing itself.
Yeah, the credits aren't even finished yet.
I guess it's certainly. Hey, maybe that's the twist. These are actually the end credits that they're showing so that they don't have to put the end credits at the end. And
this
people
is
actually
not
see.
this is not a postmodern art expressionist, Soviet era made movie that cycles upon itself and you never understand where the beginning or the ends are.
Okay, now it really does look phallic. Holy cow.
Everything is
And hey,
phallic
hey,
in the
Space
future.
Barry,
shuttles can easily look like that. I
Barry
suppose.
Gray,
I don't know.
Barry Gray is the composer of the show, and he also does the music for this movie. Probably the only bits of excitement to be
Wow,
found.
what a novel concept! An adaptation for a product that uses the same composer of a product. Why can't more
The
people
music-
in Hollywood think of that?
The music is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Okay, that ship would not look out of place in a Power Ranger series, and I will admit that does look
Please,
flipping
tell
cool.
me the punchline is that he gets destroyed in the next 30 seconds.
We put it
I'll,
all together.
I'll let you find out. Although I should mention,
Your
actually,
plane sucked, so I blew it up.
you mentioned Power Rangers. Well, yeah, on the broader subject of that.
Uh-huh.
The show Thunderbirds I'm not quite sure it was that big a hit in, say, the US, but it was quite the hit in Japan, to the point where Japan has done like the odd orchestra concerts for the show.
Medley. Yeah, I can see why, because this would not look out of place of one of the mecha shows and series that were going around at the time, like Get That Robo.
You know, it'd be funny if Thunderbirds actually did inspire the Sentai that would later be the backbone for Power Rangers.
No,
Since,
remember,
hey,
There we
that's
go.
instead the 70s Spider-Man series done in Japan.
Yay! 11 minutes in and it's taken off.
They did not even say Thunderbirds or Go. What a ripoff.
Well, this isn't the Thunderbird. I mean, by the way, yeah, it's going to take a while to see the Thunderbirds, actually, aside from the opening credits.
Oh, so these aren't even the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, okay, yes, it's called Zero X, so I guess they are the villains, maybe. But I had to say, with what Joe was asking previously about newcomers, these can actually bite me in the ass, because, for example, I too was on the impression that these were the Thunderbirds.
Especially since, and again, I'm sure the puppeteers really tried their best, but some of these guys look kind of identical to the Thunderbirds we saw in the opening credits. So.
To be fair,
I mean, you only have so many models.
Although this one does
Similar
have
to
a mustache, to be
Similar
fair.
to Captain Scarlet, they did try to diversify the facial features in order to represent the actors, I guess, that they were voicing them. My country also has something like that with some particular type of puppetry that's done for satirical purposes. So I know about this technique as a whole.
Oh, absolutely, and I appreciate that technique. I will say, though, I don't blame anybody
Bro,
who gets a
your
little
feet,
confused at times. Uh-oh.
Yep, his attempts to yeah, but by the way, this is the Hood, the main antagonist for the show.
He's introduced
Not
by
that the movie
fucking
really
up.
does not that the movie does a really good job introducing him
Yeah,
Yeah, he
he's
looks-
introduced to fucking
to
up.
newcomers. Yeah, like he didn't check below, like he didn't hear a noise, or
I guess I have to ask him, is he that incompetent also in the series?
no.
Weird.
Huh. So was he trying to sabotage them from
It's
going
kinda
up into
like-
space? Or...
His main goal is to study the Thunderbirds technology and use it for his own evil purposes.
Classic.
Although in this case, he's taking the Zero X, trying to take the Zero X technology, albeit unsuccessfully.
It's
So
kind
is
of
he
like
trying to do it to A, take over the world, or B, profit?
both.
Oh,
It's kind of like if Professor Layton in Eternal Diva started by having Descoli show up, but he was acting like Don Paolo instead.
Imagine, Descalay shows up, immediately gets his cape caught on the gears of one of his mechs, dies from it, refuses to
I
elaborate.
mean, it
Next
borderline
day-
in one of my fan theories that I was hoping by the end of Azran Legacy it was revealed that Descoli was actually Don Paolo all the time.
I guess in that regard they weren't going to do that because then you'd
No.
have some.
They,
Oh,
they were taking themselves way too seriously for that.
also, I guess some people might have
I
grumbled
noticed the
if Don
jump
Paulo
cut.
was the ticket. Yes. But yeah, no, I do feel like a legit problem is going to be that going off of these first 15 minutes, this is not newcomer friendly. Like,
Also, that was actually some blood on the feet.
it's like
they,
I said.
they
Well,
really
yeah,
want to
I
showcase
said
them seriously.
the premise of the show is easy to grasp. How this particular movie executes the premise.
I love it. Instead of actually releasing himself, looks like he accidentally let go.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
So after all that time setting up the bloody plane, they have to eject because of this.
Brilliant.
whoopsie. Wow, that is the fastest moving battleship I've ever seen.
Well, this is set in the 2050s, Jova.
Yeah,
Of course, battleships
specifically,
by then are going to go faster.
From what Wikipedia tells me, it should be exactly 100 years after the date that was the release of a movie, 2065.
Well, see you guys in 25 years when everyone's puppets.
I mean, it probably would be a better outcome than what's happening
That's
now.
that's going to be the next step in human evolution.
Yeah, instead of AIs, it will be converted into puppets.
Well, hey,
I feel like a puppet.
Well, if Mega Man Legends is anything to go by, we'll transition from puppets into carbons, and hey, being a carbon's apparently pretty cool. You can essentially choose when you want to age or if you need to sleep and modify yourself ad nauseum without any painful side effects.
But then you will be condemned to have your story never been finished. And we jump cut to an explosion.
So we actually did blow it up.
Okay, it took roughly 5 minutes for the ship to explode, but I'm still amused enough.
So yeah, the Zero X mission
Was no
mission
go.
failed. We'll get him next time.
So our first 15 minutes were, I guess, still important to set some things up, but otherwise...
Well, now we're getting another nail biter of a scene. People around the table discussing the air crash.
I do dig the architecture and the color pattern of this room, though.
So, okay, just to get a good sense of scale, how big are the puppets typically?
Sorry?
How big are the puppets?
IRL,
Yeah.
How big are the Thunderbirds?
No, the puppets. Basically, to get an idea of like how big the sets they needed to design were or whatnot.
Say the puppets themselves are
and those were live-action hands.
Reaches up to the knee.
Okay, so about a foot tall each, basically.
Yeah, because you had to do the puppetry and the sets and everything.
I do wonder if part of the reason some shows did it.
Dwebs, can I ask just a small question?
Hmm?
What was that virus model in the background?
Science.
Of course.
Okay, so the voting machines, they're going to make sure we're going to, after 24 months since the crash, we're going to try again.
Oh, one is abstaining.
Hey, one is.
Oh, one is against. But wait a minute.
Dun dun dun.
Whomst did this?
Come on, speak up.
Wasn't it supposed to
Executive
be
meetings.
anonymous? That's why we're doing it this way?
I saw him venting.
You waited 2 years. I want to go to Mars. Who said no?
It was the head of the table.
I mean, he's got a point given the fact that literally a straggler's boot caused the whole thing to go up in smoke.
And if I understand correctly, Dwebs, it has to be a unanimous decision to pass. Okay.
I mean, the light went to green, so I'm guessing it passed.
Meanwhile,
yes,
on Skull Island.
Nearly 19 minutes in, we finally get to Tracy Island.
Why do they call it Tracy Island?
Because the Tracys live there.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
I guess. Oh, yes, now I remember this spot from the movie in 2004, which I guess to give it credit, it did look like that.
It was close enough.
Now, okay, I wonder if... Oh, world waits after President's dramatic TV appeal.
I've been waiting.
Wait. President? I thought these were a UK-based team.
Well, it's the future, Jova, so... Also, I know it's the 60s, but Jesus, these outfits. These casual outfits. Did the costumes from Murder, She Wrote walked in?
Get ready.
The Tracys are American.
Okay. Well, get ready, Tio. In 25 years, this is apparently going to be the fashion of the time.
I mean, nothing surprises me anymore, so...
Okay, so the Thunderbirds were Americans, or was it just the Tracys who hosted their islands that were American?
The Tracys are American.
But the Thunderbirds are British, correct?
Well, they are the Thunderbirds, pretty much. So the Thunderbirds are the Thunderbirds are the craft.
Oh, okay. So the Thunderbirds are the craft, and the family runs them. So
I guess, Joe, it's kind of like if Power Ranger was called Megazord instead, or Zords.
Interesting. So Thunderbirds is a British show starring Americans. Okay.
Well, okay. If I recall correctly, the Captain Scarlet instead had a group that was considered international, right?
Yeah, hence the name International Rescue.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, again, they were operating on this compound.
The Thunderbirds are finally here.
It's so like the movie wants to wait, make you wait, salivating, waiting for that.
That was a long intro.
Gromit, those were not my pants.
There was saliva coming out of people's mouths, just not from excitement.
Okay. I mean, I guess it's nice that the British assume that us Americans have this advanced technology.
Well, Jeff Tracy was an ex-astronaut. He's the leader of the.
Oh my God! We're sliding in the entire bench.
Well, I mean, puppet.
They really will never leave that bench.
So basically, what you're telling me is Thunderbirds is a dystopian future where nobody can really leave their chairs. Basically,
you'd think they'd have a bigger pool with all this technology.
Well, again, they move off screen, but still.
So it's more of a case of like Wall-E, then.
I get the feeling that, between shows like this and Captain Scarlet, I'm guessing the reason that people would occasionally use puppets was sort of a bit of a Thomas the Tank Engine scenario where I guess they could basically work with these miniature sets a lot more.
Pretty much.
I guess blend that better with
stuff.
And blend that better with puppets than rather, pretending that actual human beings were in the toys.
Oh, but believe it or not, actually, guys, originally, this movie's 90 minutes. It
Uh,
was originally going to run for an extra 30, because that's what this slow-ass movie needed, to be longer.
What would they have done?
And there are
release the
actually,
Thunderbirds cut.
there are actually, well, the novelization of the film does have some scenes in it that didn't make it into the movie. That exciting as hell voting scene, guess what
Yes.
happens?
It's
went
They do
extended
a-
and there's a big debate.
They do a third vote.
Dun dun dun.
And let me guess, that one also is not completely unanimous.
Yeah, no, that was unanimous.
Oh, so what convinced the straggler in that case?
That they said, okay, we'll bring an international rescue to assist.
Oh, so basically that's just
That's what he
explaining why
asked
the
for.
Thunderbirds are involved.
Yeah, that's what he asked for. There was a newspaper article where there was a media campaign to put pressure on international rescue to respond to the help request by speculating where the organization is located.
So
The
if I
HUD
understand,
hypnotizing one of the characters, a Thunderbird landing at the field where they launched the Zero X, because that's what the film needed, more of that. The Zero X crew members speaking to each other, and a few other things.
so apparently one of the main critiques thrown at this movie are, of course, the time-consuming effect shots. So I guess I'll ask: in the show, do they have these level effects just done quicker?
Yeah, the episodes themselves are all like 50 minutes.
Okay, so she's British, I see, at least going off of the accent.
That's Tintin.
Right, I think she's the one Vanessa Hudgens played in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't 5 p.m. tea time for British? That's what I remember for the stereotype. I know that the punchline is every hour is tea time, but
All right. Oh yeah, we're gonna see Lady Penelope now, who's International Rescue's London agent.
I guess I'll give them credit since apparently most of these actors are British. Some of them do put on relatively good American accents. Holy cow, what is wrong with your face, dude?
Oh my god, what's
Well,
wrong
there were
with
one or
her?
two Canadians and American expatriates in the cast.
I love it. That's a live action hand. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, this is another technique they use to add a bit more detail to the shots. So instead of just a puppet hand picking stuff up, it's for more complex moves like this, they just shoot with human hands.
I mean, it makes sense. Honestly, it's a bit narmy, but I do find it particularly charming too.
Now,
Okay.
as for interestingly enough, this movie didn't really do well at the box office, surprisingly, in spite of the Thunderbirds being at their peak of popularity.
It also has a
It
budget
didn't
of
help.
£250,000.
It
Which
didn't
I'm
help
guessing was a
that
lot back in the day.
it didn't help that here in the UK, it released at the same time as Batman the movie.
Oh, this is based on the 60s
Ooh.
show. The one
Which,
where
yeah,
for
and-
some days you can just get rid of a bomb.
Which, if
and
I recall
Batman the
correctly,
movie.
that movie was a
the-
huge hit.
Yeah. And the lack of box office success actually kind of impacted the show itself. The second season was cut down to just 6 episodes,
Ooh.
and the show got cancelled after that. But they did
I
make
find
another movie.
Which had an even bigger budget. Okay, don't get me wrong, it's nice that they didn't give up completely, but I'm kind of surprised. So your first big budget movie was a failure, so much so that it impacted your series. So for the sequel, you throw even more money at it.
You have to understand,
hopefully
Juba, that was kind of the thing at the time. Remember, David Lynch fucked up with Dune, because that was another, box office bomb. And instead of tucking tail between his legs, he literally went back to the producer, I forgot who he's called, to ask for more money to do instead Blue Velvet, and that kind of worked instead.
Another thing as well to bear in mind, the head of ATV at the time, Lord Lou Grade, he really wanted to make it big in the film industry. And films like this and some other stuff in the late 70s, early 80s were his big shots. But very few of them did all that well, which also contributed to ATV basically, well, it didn't die necessarily, but with their money going into big films and not a lot of it coming back, eventually led to Lou Grade's ousting from the company. And even during that, ATV had to basically change their name to keep hold of their Midlands Broadcasting franchise. They changed it to Central, in case you were wondering.
I'm sorry, I gotta talk about what just happened. So I get that we were transitioning to, show him on the other end, but why did a bunch of pinks take up the square? Was it to show that, oh, she's the pink ranger of the bunch before he shows up?
Interesting wipe. Just a simple color differentiation drove.
I think the problem is that it hangs for so long that it's confusing. Like, I feel like if you're gonna do it,
someone is gonna ask the big question, I guess.
But yeah, this is basically Lady Vanellope's method of keeping track.
If I understand correctly, she's mainly like tech support, isn't she?
Well, she's tech support, but she's also, well, not tech support necessarily, that's brains. She's basically the main public face.
Please wear under lapel.
Main public face? What, so she's like their PR spokesperson?
Kind of.
Here you go.
Sure it is.
I do wonder if maybe one thing this movie had going against it was, well, the idea of a movie spent on puppets, essentially. Like,
meanwhile,
and we looked back to the beginning of the
movie started again. Oh no! Maybe this is a Soviet-era experimental artsy movie.
Also, I'm just gonna say it. A lot of the cuts here feel like this was made to be like a TV episode with like the fades to black and everything. Yeah,
that's the saddest thing. This was actually meant to be a movie in the first place.
But yeah, no, like, I legit wonder if maybe part of this movie's problem, box office-wise at least, was like, again, I don't know how many shows did the puppet thing. I can only really think of two, this and Captain Scarlet, so I do wonder if maybe the appeal wasn't the biggest for, like, a puppet-led film.
It's also kind of, was also kind of hard to pull it off. As Trey Mark and Bedstone mentioned when they did Team America, it's not as easy as they thought it would be, similar to, stop motion. There was a lot of, different things going in it.
Which makes me wonder, Dwibs, have the creators ever explained why they chose to do the puppet approach with something like this or Captain Scarlet?
No, this is just how they did things.
So
maybe they were
completely just stylistic.
They just like doing that. If it's something that, again, if it's something that is difficult but you really do enjoy doing it, I guess you don't feel the fatigue most of the time.
I can understand enjoying it. I'm just wondering if there was an idea behind the tactic.
It's starting again.
No. Oh God, and it's how it started. Don't tell me they're actually going to repeat showing all the pieces come together. Very cockney, you say? So which region is he from with that?
Well, Parker's voiced by David Graham, who was the... Interestingly enough, he was the only cast member, well, one of the two cast members from the from this show to reprises to be in the Thunderbirds Are Go reboot in the mid 2010s, and he was the only one to reprise his actual character.
Wasn't that reboot like animated, or was that?
It's a mixture. It's animated characters with physical sets.
Animated characters with physical sets, so like kind of like Dinosaur and Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Good work.
Are you okay? Yes, he says what he looks like he's about to be spirited away. Dun dun dun. It was the hood the whole time.
He took his face off.
I guess that's one thing that, okay, I don't know if Mission Impossible, well, this Mission Impossible TV series was already at this time and he was doing it, but otherwise, that's one thing that the movies took idea from, the rubber mask.
Also, I just want to point out that the Hood is his own worst enemy in this film. Like, he could have pulled off a job without his arch nemesis, the Thunderbirds, interfering, if he had just gotten his footing right in the first place.
So yeah, this is partly why Lady Penelope's here to deal with the Hood.
Take out the trash.
Okay, Dwibs, which regional dialect is this guy going for?
London.
Huh. They really are that Cockney in London. And here I was thinking that might be a stereotype. Are you gonna, like, reimburse that person whose car you crashed into, Penelope?
It's an emergency, Jova.
Hey, don't shoot at her! She's
Why are
on
you
your
firing
side!
at her? She's helping you!
Trigger happy much?
And no, the Thunderbirds don't bring that up. Stop shooting at our own people, please.
So clearly the launch is off, right? Like, it's been compromised, there was an imposter, we're calling it off now, right? Right?
Jova, we need to, otherwise it will be postponed and the rocket will be left there.
They should have a way to abort the launch in a case like this.
Are you sure you're the real Dr. Grant?
Just pinch those cheeks to verify.
Look, I'm sorry. I find it funny that in the 60s, where, terrorist or, Cold War tension was at such a peak, that they would insinuate that any government formation would still commence with the launch on the same day that an imposter nearly sabotaged it. Of course the car can do that. It just drives on water. Cute. See, the funny thing is that it wasn't sinking before you did that. Oh, he's normally bald.
I mean, he's evil, Jova, so of course it has to be bald.
What accent was the Hood going for there?
Foreign.
I don't believe it.
It's like that review from Neutral Jova. We speak European. Yeah.
We may have an opportunity to shoot it down.
I find it funny that in a team based mostly of Americans, it's the Brit who's apparently the most trigger happy.
Well, I mean, it did endanger the ship here.
Sure, yeah, but like, damn, she's out for blood. It's shooting at the people trying to help you!
No, this is the bad guy's helicopter.
Oh. It's weird, because we were just, like, at a scene with some guys who looked like the good guys, so that felt weird. I feel like this movie has a bit of a pacing issue.
No, really?
No kidding.
Again. For as much as I recall the 2004 film not being good, I don't remember being as confused with what the hell was going on as I do with this movie. Now, okay, Dwibs, as somebody who's, much more of a fan of the original series than us, how would you say this film at least comes out coherently to you?
I don't think it's a hard movie to understand. It's just the pacing that's the big problem. As like I said, this is 40 minutes longer than a typical episode.
I can tell you, Jova, that if it was live action instead of actually having the puppetry, I would be far more caustic towards it. But I have to admit, I do enjoy kind of the artistry behind this, nonetheless. Like they managed to turn up like now. They managed to turn a model going to the water into an actual explosion.
Which, hey, okay, you know what? I'll give them credit. Like, the puppetry is something that does deserve kudos for their chops, especially it extended out to a movie. That being said, I'll admit, past the wow factor of that, again, that's where I do ask the questions as to what's going on in the plot, but looks like the launch is working. Sure, how much of a fan of this series are you?
I wasn't really.
Okay.
Just wasn't my thing.
That's fair. I will say, I do feel like there's still a place in the world for shows like these, like ones with puppets, but I get why it may not be as common a thing anymore since, it was a creative way to work around, getting effects and stuff. Nowadays, we have a lot more tech that does help out with that.
I'd rather we have more of this than AI, really.
I mean, yeah.
Agreed.
If anything, also, again, as people noted, we're turning into the people from Wall-E, where we're becoming lazier and lazier even to the crafting of art.
I will say this also, I prefer Thomas the Tank Engine when it's done with the models instead of the cartoons.
I mean, so is kind of for Bob the Builder, Joe. Have you tried seeing the CGI abomination that was the reboot?
God,
yeah,
I completely forgot about the reboot. I think it's because I hated it upon seeing it.
They gave Bob teeth.
Jesus.
Why would you do that?
Holy cow. I mean, I guess in hindsight, Dora got it the best with her reboot. Like, it's not a great look, but at least her look doesn't completely crap on the idea. And yet, Dora can say she has had a more successful live-action movie than most of these guys. All right. We can finally go to Mars.
Get your ass to Mars.
Yep. We're not going to see him for a while.
This is a movie about keep away. Just the moment you're about to actually reach something, nope.
Wait, we're not going to see them, but aren't they what the movie's centered around?
Well, yeah.
Also, I know that it's supposed to be a cartography on that radar, was supposed to be, but and it did not have the pattern, but for a second I mistook it for a Fibonacci spiral.
You know, it says something when a movie that's taking advantage of a Christmas release bombs, and this is no exception. And I think I'm definitely starting to see why. Like, okay, my best guess is the big fans came in first to see this, but aside from the fact that, hey, they keep the effects pretty much top notch as you can for a show like this, this is nothing really to write home about, and I'm guessing word of mouth didn't help it. And anyone who was new to this franchise was just left confused because, as we've established, this movie does not really explain the franchise well. Like, shoot, you won't even really know the proper name of the main bad guy of this film without having seen the series or having someone who's a fan of it to tell
I
you
did not
what's
pay
what.
attention too much for some specific scene, but have they ever called the Hood with his name?
Babes?
No, they don't.
Yeah, so far they only called it, a phony, a mole or something.
Like, imagine if the Leighton movie never referred to Descalay by name.
That man.
The Man in the Mask. There are some movies where, okay, you could argue these characters are so well known you don't even need the name. Like, one could argue that Batman the Mask of the Phantasm did not need to name the Joker, essentially, because, well, it's the Joker. Difference. Batman has practically been written into the mythos of the entertainment industry, essentially. Like, let me put it like this. You have to be going out of your way to not know, at the very least, the concept of Batman and the Joker, essentially. Oh, God. So their eyes glow when you're responding to one, Jesus.
Of course.
Also, Secretary, your mouth wasn't moving for a few of those words there. Are you all right?
But we're supposed to be secretive yet we're going to a nightclub.
The outfits are so clashy.
Genshuri, according to the show, this is how we'll all be dressing in the 2050s. So get your hair propped up and get the floofiest dress you can to fit in.
Remember the 2004 movie where Alan spent a good chunk of the movie whinging?
No, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, this film did it 39 years before.
So in a way, they
Oh,
were
boy.
faithful to the source material.
Congrats. So basically we have, what, some generational trauma going on where he doesn't see it eye to eye with his dad or something?
Well, this all gets done in this scene, which I can sum up the following scene in one word. Padding.
Oh no. Are we about to basically do Yellow Submarine except, not fun?
Okay, 38 years, I should say, but, yep.
What?
And now, the movie is tripping.
Well, to be fair, it was almost the 70s, so drugs were already being used at this time.
1966, we still had some ways to go, but what the hell?
Are we about to launch ourselves into a musical number, Dweebs?
The insanity of
Yeah,
this
she, right?
scene is
I
awesome.
couldn't tell if that is like glitter or a flesh wall.
I know, right? It does look like a flesh sculpture.
They threw glitter at a flesh wall.
So Alan finally gets to go to the Swinging Star.
In his dreams.
Yeah, just to
Was Mattel okay with them using the Barbie car like that? What the fuck is this?
just to ask a preemptive question, James, is it a case where we have a will they won't they situation, or is it a case where he's madly in love with her but she's not reciprocating?
No.
Which
So what
one?
is
Neither.
Okay.
Okay, so what is the case with Alan and Penelope then, just to clarify?
No, they're just good acquaintances.
So why is he dreaming going on a date with her then?
No, he's dreaming about going to the Swinging Star.
But with her in that dress, that kind of implies a date.
So I can't explain everything about the movie to you because I don't even know.
My point for the question was to just, assert what kind of degree of an incel we're talking about.
Hey, come on, Tio. He drives a giant vehicle. He's absolutely confident in himself.
Car park, space for 1 million cars.
Why couldn't the rest of the movie be this camp?
Because they want you to take it seriously.
Yeah, if it was Monty Python... I kind of wish Monty Python did a puppet parody at one point during their career.
Okay, that would have been cool, yeah. Jesus, the flashing.
It's not that much, it's just distracting glittering. There you go.
Oh, okay. It's like, it was so focused on it that it blurred it into looking like dots.
Also, very artsy. The rest of the background is in black and white outside of our protagonist here. Also, Elton John.
No.
Are you sure this isn't a date?
No, actually. This is actually a real live band.
In puppet form, where they got... yeah, I guess it's a case
Cliff,
where they
Cliff Richard and the Shadows.
Cliff Richard?
Yeah. We'll see him in a bit.
I know about this kind of thing because Disney Comics in my country tends to do that, duck versions of celebrities or cameoing occasionally.
Remember, in the Goofy movie, there's apparently a dog version of the Bee Gees.
Why not?
So, what purpose does this actually serve to the movie?
I get the idea, Trova, you're keeping asking questions you're not gonna get the answer of.
Oh, no. I have an answer.
Yes.
Wasting our time.
It certainly shows off the effects, I'll give it credit.
Poor guy fell asleep at the wheel.
Parker's just as bored of this as we are. And this is Alan's dream, so is he dreaming of Parker being asleep?
I guess.
This is some Inception level.
So let me get this straight. I'm guessing, okay, did they actually get the actual band to voice for, their puppet counterpart?
No, they just did the music and they synced the puppets up to it.
I mean, they basically, from what I understand, they bought the right to the song, slapped it on, and make puppet-fied versions of the Shadows.
We interrupt this Thunderbirds movie to give you a Cliff Richard concert.
Oh my god,
We're going to turn you into a marketable doll.
Oh no. It's kind of like the Jetsons movie, where it stops every 5 seconds to have an 80s song.
It's like, I wouldn't even mind it. Oh, and Get It, the Moon's a banana. And I guess now they're imagining that he's imagining this for a musical montage, or this is all part of the dream?
Joe, I get the idea you will probably be able to enjoy more this sequence if you're actually on drugs.
Well, 60... Look, the 60s introduced the drugs, and then the 70s just plunged their face right into them! And of course, on top of a giant guitar. Okay,
Somehow this
Dwebs.
guitar dream will help them build rockets.
Has there ever been a sequence like this in the actual show?
No.
Yeah, I get the idea. It's one of those cases where,
In
we have
fact,
a movie, we need to have something extravagant, unique to it.
When Sylvia Anderson did her autobiography, she happily admitted that this dream sequence was added nothing to the movie, but she pushed it through because of sheer indulgence.
Oh, well, there you go, straight from the horse's
Yep.
mouth.
She just wanted a Cliff Richard song in here.
I mean,
Honestly,
more
that's the
power
only
to
reason a
it.
creator should like do something, because I want it.
It's art for the sake
Also, I
of
think-
art, at the very least.
I think Brian Bennett's drumming's a bit out of sync with the puppets.
It's fine. Good.
Everyone's too high to actually notice. Okay, just
It exploded.
what?
Alan, I think you need to see a therapist.
Do they
This
have
is
those?
what you dream about.
Nah, this is the 60s. You're gonna get electroshocked.
Okay, I feel like we were moving away from electroshock therapy by the 60s.
Okay, and I cannot speak for America, obviously, but it took until, I think, the 70s or the 80s for my country to actually close down mental asylums and reconvert them into proper places of healing. Let me put it this way, Chova. You know those stereotypes about Arkham Asylum, where it's depicted into a gothic prison where everybody's tortured? All the places in
His
my
father
country
even
were like
shows
that
up
for a
in
while.
his father even shows up in his dreams.
To tell him to knock it off. What does that say about his psyche?
I guess it says that his father has browbeated him into a sense of responsibility.
I guess that's one decent thing. With all the other Thunderbirds enjoying themselves, Alan's the only guy the dad can rely on.
I do like the way that his watch was represented with small lights to signify the time. Ah.
Can't imagine that happening. And then the car blows up, doesn't it?
Mind the gap.
Oh, I see. This is to show that Alan has doubts in himself, and this
Needs
means
to take
that
a
for the
leap of
finale,
faith.
and I guess for the final section, he'll have to show that he does believe in himself.
Whoop.
And he falls.
Pooba man, he flies like a moron.
He falls like a moron.
Right down to the island.
Sorry, Dad, I don't think so.
This implies he wrecked his room while in his sleep. What the hell?
Why is there a statue of an alligator crocodile in the background?
Because that's what rich people do, I guess.
Of course. Also, that pajama.
Goodness gracious. And
there we go.
that's
That's the padding over. And we never reference this scene again.
Later, a big leap
So-
moment.
So it might come as a shock to you guys, but apparently the dream sequence was one of the largest things critiqued in this movie.
No.
In addition to that, the other things that critics were against it for were its lack of characterization, which, yeah, okay, I'll say this, we're over halfway into the film, and I don't feel like I know the Thunderbirds, save for maybe Alan, and I'm beginning to wonder if I know more about Alan than I wish I did.
I still
that dream
don't
is anything to
properly
go by.
understand what the plot on the bigger scale is supposed to be. Like going into space, I guess, but...
Oh yeah, John's been in that space satellite, I guess, for the most part.
It is a more permanent assignment because space satellite. And yeah, we're going back to the Zero X stuff. How long's it been?
Well, we have a little over a half an hour left in this movie, so if there's going to be some action, soon would be the time. My family. Oh, John. Oh.
Honestly, they feel more like colleagues than family with the way the movie is portraying them.
Oh, I see. So, in his family photo album, basically he has cameras used. How do those cameras always have their shots trained on the kids? Like, does he have cameras just everywhere? Or is it something that the kids hold with them to give him a picture of them?
Cameras. So anyway, after 6 weeks, because it sure felt like 6 weeks, they're finally on Mars.
Doesn't look that much red.
Well, you see, Tio, after Elon Musk colonized it, he had to change something.
It's funny, there's a satirical movie
He calls it Earth X now.
God.
Oh, the ship is called Zero X.
It's funny, there's a satirical movie in my country called Fascists on Mars that is kind of like that, a bit like Journey to the Moon from Jules Verne, but in the key of it was done during the 20 years. Why? Because, Mars is a red planet, so it has to be communist and has to be conquered as a result. And it parodies basically a lot of the stupidity that was happening during the 20 years of fascism. So I am reminded a bit of that.
What I'm hearing in the grand scheme of things, though, is to not show Elon this movie.
Oh God, he'll probably think this is a documentary.
Well, hey, if this was made with drugs, maybe he'll get a good idea while watching this on ketamine. Yes, move that vehicle as slowly as possible. Drag that runtime out, gentlemen.
Like, Jesus, how much cosmic space dust do you need to raise?
Oh, just wait till you find out that there's water on Mars. That's when the speculation will really go into overdrive.
I don't think at this point there was already the myth of the face of Mars. It was going to happen a bit later than this. I talked about when we did Mission to Mars. So basically, some photographic, evidence from the surface of Mars had a stone structure that kind of looked like a face because the photo was not in optimal quality. Later on, when proper tech was used for better definition, it was like, oh no, it's just a formation of rocks that looked like that in a blurry context.
Speaking of the face, I'm guessing that little shot we saw of those bunch of rocks was meant to resemble the face?
Remember, I don't think it was a thing at this point.
Just a coincidence then.
Mm-hmm. I mean, again, for all we know, we could be on the moon because, like I said, it sure doesn't look like Mars to me. There's a reason why it's called a red planet.
Yeah.
Did they run out of budget for the color red?
Maybe.
Yeah, there you go. The first photograph of the quote-unquote face of Mars was in 1976, so like a decade after this.
Now, from the snippets I've seen of the show, this doesn't look too different, so I do wonder, what did cause the ballooned budget, £250,000 specifically for this movie?
Bigger is better.
So mainly bigger sets, and I'm guessing, was it also about the actors that they got for this? Well, the new actors anyway, the ones who were returning.
No, almost all the cast are the same from the show.
Royalties also for the Song of the Shadows, probably.
Probably that, and I'm guessing the sets were just that much bigger. Like, okay, Dwebs, again, hate to have to ask you this, but you're the best expert on this. Like, compared to the original episodes, are the sets notably bigger in this movie?
Yes.
Probably also to sponsor that nice widescreen format.
Well, hey, at least unlike the first Blu-ray release, this was meant to be widescreen.
Mm-hmm.
First Blu-ray release of the show, because it stretched it out to 16:9, even though it wasn't meant to be.
So it made everything look basically.
Yeah, thankfully this new upcoming Blu-ray release at the time of commentary is going to present it all in 4x3.
And then that piece turns out to be kryptonite. That's right, we were in the DC Comics universe all along.
Let me check. Did Thunderbirds had a comic run? Let me see.
There was like one known actor in this movie outside of the main cast. Well, I mean, me and Shiro will know. Comedian Bob Monkhouse.
Really?
Yeah, he was the navigator and the announcer at the Swinging Star.
Also, fun fact,
Alright.
Wibs, while this movie apparently failed, they did later make Zero X appear in the first episode of Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons.
Probably a different continuity.
And there's a
In
way
case-
to
in that case-
recycle. Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So the main bad guy is not Mr. Hood, but a rock snake.
Oh, I think I saw this design. Okay, long story. There was a board where I was frequenting during my early years of the internet, and a user had this specifically as his profile pic, but I never knew where he got that from.
Well, that's... Oh, a rocket snake that shoots cannons.
Of course, the famous Martian snake that vomits explosive out of its mouth.
So, Dreams, you say that for
Where's
Zero
this
X to
enemy in
show
Elden
up-
Ring?
I'm sure they're saving it for the next DLC. Dwibs, you mentioned that the Zero X showing up in Captain Scarlet would have had to have been a different Zero X for a different continuity. Like, is there anything that contradicts this taking place in the same universe as Captain Scarlet?
Takes place 10 years before.
So maybe the same universe, just
Nah,
different
I don't
time?
think so. I've never seen anything to indicate that.
Also, I'm guessing, while the same production company, maybe different distribution ones.
Well, hey, this is
Oh.
probably the most exciting scene in the movie.
Also, TV Century 21 magazine ran a Zero X comic strip until 1969. So the big takeaway I'm getting from this is like this movie was a big launch for some spin-off of Zero X, basically. And I do wonder why, because we've seen the Thunderbirds can go into space themselves. I'm guessing the idea with Zero X is like they're strictly space-based.
It's only Thunderbird 3 and 5 that are space.
Also,
Fair enough.
these snakes are glass cannons, despite the fact that they're made of rock and stone.
I guess with our future technology, we can blow them to bits all the same. Maybe these rock snakes are relatives to whatever those artificial, but apparently biological tanks from Angel's Egg were.
Those are more like lobsters, and they're definitely more organic rather than being made of rock.
Well, this film does have one unique thing going for it compared to the TV show, at least around the time it came out. Well, because remember, here in Britain in 1966, we didn't really get colour TV broadcasts, even though the show was made in colour. So, it was all still in black and white up till like a year or two later. This was probably the first time people saw Thunderbirds in colour.
Oh, by the way, it should come as no surprise that the Zero X spacecraft from the start of the film was in fact a toy merchandised out.
Again, that doesn't really surprise me in the slightest.
I mean,
A lot of these types of shows were specifically for that. I made the joke at the start too.
Captain Scarlet. One thing I remember watching a lot on the old DVD of it was when they had an advert where Captain Scarlet was, for a promotional push, was put on Kellogg's Sugar Smacks, as it was known back then in the UK.
Huh.
Basically sugar puffs.
I probably couldn't eat those now.
Why do you have 2 white balls on there?
House rules? I don't know.
I can't recall a version of pool that has a rule with multiple cue balls.
They made them up.
Let me check.
And you missed.
Hey, look, this puppet body's hard to control.
And now we're going to do something I wish the movie did before, a time skip.
Alright, so...
No movie. No need to skip so fast. You got that Beatles song to fit in.
You know, I'm actually surprised they didn't fit in a Beatles song, because the Beatles were white hot during the 60s. But I guess, to be fair, the idea is, oh, well, they're American, so they would go for an American band, except no, even over in America, the Beatles were insanely big. Oh boy, even she sounds bored.
Yeah, she's like, oh, come on. This film does feel like it goes on for 6 weeks. Never mind the 6 weeks it takes to get to Mars and then another to get back.
I'll admit, I thought the dilemma was going to be that, you know, they were trapped on Mars with the rock snakes, so that would be our climax, but I guess
No,
not.
the climax is, can they land the ship? Yeah, can we land the ship and also not bore the audience to sleep with this constant techno babble?
Dweebs using multimodal reflection sorting. Of course. Like up with.
Have they landed yet?
No.
Nope. They're
Sounds-
not seriously going to drag this out for the last 20 minutes. In fact, what about the Hood? Like, weren't we chasing him at some
he's
point?
gone. He's not in the movie. He's gone for the rest of the movie.
So we killed him, I guess, when we attacked his
He's back
island.
in the next film.
So he
So he
faked
did
his
not
death.
die off screen.
Weird.
So I'm
Well, he got
guessing.
blown up, supposedly.
Okay, so he faked his death. So let me get this straight. For your big epic movie, you have the main villain of the franchise dealt in the first 30 minutes of an hour-and-a-half film. What? Why? How?
We were too busy
God,
showcasing
why?
trippy sequences and assembling like this.
Like, I mean,
You
I
gotta
hope
try
they...
and hold the bits steady so that they can land the ship.
Steady now. Steady.
Come on, guys. The audience ain't gonna throw themselves.
Look at all this really cool stuff this toy can do.
Oh,
Well, crud.
Oh,
Well, I mean, they've been getting use out of explosion effects in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
They certainly have.
Not just the vehicles exploding, but also the pyrotechnics they use for the Martian snakes.
Oh,
And
Jesus
even
Christ. So
showcasing
not only
its-
was there a radio fault, but the explosion caused the locking gear to be the landing gear locks to be damaged. Who? This is your second 0X, and it could just fall apart like that.
Maybe that guy that was, voting nay because of concerns about security had a point.
Yeah, never mind security. Maybe you should have said you guys didn't design the fucking ship properly.
What is that portrait in the background in black and white?
It looks like a clown with an aftershave trying to do a JoJo's pose.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
a rich
guys.
people's house. So a lot of stuff doesn't make sense.
Including the architecture.
You said earlier we got 30 minutes, right?
Baba.
Wait, go to where?
Don't ask questions, just go.
He said it.
the
Can we go home now?
I'd say you could go home, but it appears most of the audience are asleep, so we'll just let them rest for the next 10 minutes.
Well, at least I don't have to go through the launching sequence from the start again.
Now, I will say this, to be fair, standards of action in the 60s were definitely different than they are now, so I'm okay with this film having some nice, serene, quiet moments. But I won't lie, this movie can easily lose a person who's just
Yeah, this is
not
the,
super invested in the franchise.
This is the polar opposite of Rocket Robin Hood, which was a show that was so afraid that people might lose interest, so it had to cram everything at the speed of light every 2 seconds.
Rocket Robin Hood. How have I never heard of that series until now?
I'll give you a video later. Like I mentioned a couple of times in the past, Canadian cartoon brought back. She worked on it before working on the 60s Spider-Man cartoon.
And that also came out in 1966.
Mm-hmm.
How cute.
Oh no, guys. If they don't stop the 0X from crashing, not only will the people on board die, but also a village of 3,500 people.
You know, it's the fact that they listed it that way that makes it feel exactly like that the actors are just reading it from a script. Like, hey, guys, we gotta include some stakes. Oh, yeah, there's a village here that's, got 3,030 people and all that. Stakes.
The steak.
Again, I don't get it. Why not use your main bad guy to up the stakes, especially in a movie? Like, imagine if in a Sonic movie, Eggman apparently dies in like the first 20 minutes, and then the rest of the hours are just Sonic trying to stop a natural disaster. Like, not even a villain, just a natural disaster.
Okay,
Joe, for a second there, I thought you were going to say Eggman dies in the first 20 minutes, and then you're going to pull a George Wood or something.
I know I'm basing on what you told me, but not necessarily for a movie. But didn't the Archie comics did that thanks to Ken Penders?
Yeah, there's a bunch of clones.
Okay.
It's a whole thing.
Just
But I don't
to
know
make
if
a
Pendus was behind that. Was he?
to make a long story short, too late. Ken Penders did do some weird trickery. I forget if he was the one who killed off the original Eggman, but basically what happened was, through some shenanigans, Robotnik died, but don't worry, a duplicate of him from another dimension who basically memory merged with him later donned a metal suit that made him essentially the Eggman from the games.
Comic books.
Basically, Archie Comics had this weird era where they were doing their own thing, but then at some point, somebody went, guys, we gotta actually line it up with Sonic Adventure and the continuity from there. So they had some wild explanations, like Amy had to be mystically aged up from her classic look into her more adult look to look how she looks in Time for Adventure
I know
and
that
whatnot.
Charmy
Don't forget,
was in-
Charmy has brain damage.
Yeah, I was about to say, I
Yeah.
know that Charmy got hit pretty hard.
Yeah, and I mean the British Fleetway comics did something as well.
Oh god, those comics.
There was some natural thing that caused Sonic's eyes to turn green.
Okay. Never
Did he
forget
tattoo them or something?
Yeah, okay, yes, audience. I know we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog in a Thunderbirds movie, but we've got to talk about something that moves faster.
To be
Hey, look, the
fair,
tans.
the uniforms are blue, so...
And hey, it is a British Sonic comic you were talking about, and we are watching a movie based off of a British show. Oh my
Wow.
god!
And then pray.
He
Yeah,
literally
that's
said, kiss your ass goodbye.
great encouragement there, mate.
You know what I think is part of the problem? I get that the Thunderbirds need to try and stay calm, but everyone sounds way too calm given the situation. And, like, I get it, the idea is to remain calm, but, like, if the actors don't sound concerned, why would the audience be concerned?
I mean, the script is so unengaging. You blame them too that much?
Well, gotta do something to engage your audience. Oh, wait, that's right. Apparently you didn't, and this movie was a box office failure. So, Dwibs, in regards to the sequel, while that was also a box office bomb, was it because that movie had problem of its own too?
Again, this film caused the second series of the show to be shortened considerably, and then after that on the movie, the show just died.
It was the swan song, basically.
Huh.
It's a shame.
Kind of
The next film's better.
But let me guess. It was better, but it wasn't, the amazing shot in the arm that the franchise needed.
Yeah. Plus, Captain Scarlet was out at that point.
At the very least,
So-
I want to agree, at the very least, that one kept your attention at least with the transitions. And that's the most memorable part of that, if you ask me.
So you're saying that Captain Scarlet also kind of cannibalized the show, Dwibs?
Well, because from Thunderbirds onwards, they just kept moving on to new shows every year or so.
I see. If I recall correctly, from what I recall when we took a little look at that show, Captain Scarlet has a lot more fisticuff sort of action, or at least, as much as you can do with puppets.
It was a darker tone and show.
It also
also
had
had
vehicles, but it was mostly on foot action.
So I think in a way, some might have seen Captain Scarlet as basically the upgrade of the show. Like, from what I recall, Thunderbirds never really had particular fight scenes, did they?
Not that I know. I haven't watched every single episode, so...
Which does make me wonder, what did they do to fight the Hood? Like, was it dog fights or whatnot? Or he causes something to go wrong and then escapes? Or did they ever combat him?
Yeah, till we meet again!
Alright. I do wonder if in that case, the series may have kind of been, again, just naturally on its way out. Did it at least get like a good final hurrah?
And from what I remember, no, it just ended.
Alas, hopefully Captain Scarlet got a better ending.
The least throws one job, I guess.
Yikes.
Yeah, the Mysterons won, blew Earth up, and then we're like, okay, now what?
You guys just refuse to move from your seats.
It's the cat principle, Jova. If I feeds, I seats.
can I say this any more stilted?
60s, so I
He's
guess
smart,
there was
therefore they all
some
sound like that.
there was some shattering going on. I kind of
So
wish
it's-
Star Trek got a spin-off in puppet form like this.
You know what? That actually could have been cool, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, again, for TOS, the action was not particularly that much. Sure, the occasional fisticuffs were a thing, but, you know, a lot of times it was diplomacy and talking and seeing what strange things happened.
And the making out with women. Don't forget how essential that was to Kirk.
Clearly.
Although I joke, but a white man kissing a black woman at that time was very daring.
Oh, this guy wants to sacrifice for having the others being safe.
What an honor. I would salute you if I knew who the hell you were.
I mean, Zero X, I can see that on their uniform, but still. Whip!
Like, you get what I mean, though. Like, again, yeah, lack of characterization. I can definitely see why that was a problem with critics.
I also love that the Martian stone snakes, which were apparently featured prominently in the movie posters, are just a small thing in the actual movie.
Oh, really? Big time in the posters. Goodness gracious.
I mean, to be fair, I get why we did it. It's catching on that note, but it's really just a snippet of what the movie is actually about.
You know, I think another problem. You got back the composer from the series. Why not use him? Like, if anything, a scene like this could use some music to help show the tension of a situation.
Well, that's the thing, though. There were quite a few scenes from what I've seen in this show and other Anderson shows that that decided to have not much in the way of music.
Like, I could get that for the TV series, but this is a movie. Don't you want to,
Well,
use your
shit.
production values?
I dropped it. Oh, well.
Well, this stinks.
Yeah, this kind of is like a very complicated episode of Top Gear where the Stig fucks something over.
Well, there actually was a comic where, in a Top Gear annual that I read, where the Top Gear crew have to make transforming cars to stop an evil invasion.
Top Gear had a comic. This is something I've learned today.
Only a comic strip.
Hey, stop footage.
They failed.
I mean, it is the perfect punchline for Top Gear.
Yeah, and thus the last words spoken on planet Earth were "Oh, cock."
Of course. Fuck, goddamn it, James. Wee!
He did it!
We saved
Well,
the barely habited village.
God damn it, guy.
I mean,
And all the people on the ground choked to death on those fumes.
yeah, probably this village is gonna have cancer in the next 5 years, but hey, at least there were not as many victims.
I'm
Like, you could
guessing
land better?
I'm guessing those buildings were uninhabited.
Yes.
Hopefully.
It's okay, Jova. The area has been evacuated.
I was going
How
to say,
the-
like, every movie, everyone conveniently got poofed away.
Okay, I've counted at least 11 explosions in the last few seconds.
Well-
Jesus.
Well, if they're not dead, they've got no homes now.
Well, listen, they're so far in the future, maybe they teleported away from their homes very quickly.
I do wonder if Michael Bay watched this movie as a kid accidentally.
It resonated with him.
Yeah, what he got away was, wow, cool explosion.
Yes, Mr. Tracy, we're okay, but I don't think the villagers.
So, I guess that's movie done.
Are these guys paid for by the taxes?
So, when you really get down to it, the only Thunderbird who really did anything big-wise of action for this movie was John. I guess there was Penelope. Oh, speaking of which, hey Penelope, but aside from Penelope and John, the rest of the Thunderbirds didn't really do anything, did they? You're just conveniently wherever you're needed, aren't you?
Can you imagine if it just lifts it back up again? You can get off it properly.
Sounds like a cool blooper outtake.
I mean, you call that brilliant performance?
His standards are low.
Could you work on your cold? You sound like you got a stuffy nose, dude.
That's how he talks.
I guess people sound less stuffy in dream worlds.
That's speechist, Jova, and I ain't gonna take it.
Also, my mistake, that was actually Alan doing that, and I guess John's just been up on that spacecraft the entire time. Hey, look, guys, the dream
Oh, God,
actually
they talk
meant
about the dream.
something!
The nightmare becomes reality.
Wait. Oh, so this is the actual swing starts. Weird, it's in the future, so part of me actually wondered if, like, that was actually supposed to be the future, that they have a restaurant in space, but no, I guess that was part of the dream.
Most memorable day of your life. Well, I'm sure. I'm glad someone finds it memorable.
I can't believe it. Even for this puppetry ass fucking show in this movie, they made the food and drink actually appetizing.
Like looking at this restaurant.
Great disguise, Alan. I'm sure no one will recognize you.
It looks like he has like milk froth on his face.
Kinda, yeah.
I was gonna say, looking at this restaurant and their table specifically, it's like spot the protagonists.
Again, these disguises.
I love it. They're sharing their common passion of smoking cigars.
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Do you really all need the disguises? Also, I'm pretty sure some of those people in the background were actually live action people.
I think Tintin's got the most convincing disguise. All the Thunderbird International Rescue people did was just put weird fake mustaches on.
That's a nice sentiment, Miss Penelope, but not for the situation. They just wanted so fucking peace to standing alone.
Like they were on a date, guys. Read the room.
Don't tell me that's how it ends. Oh, actual stock footage of people? What? Whips?
Nope. We end on the Royal Marines doing a rendition of the theme song.
Okay, I'll take randomness.
And the credits again.
I'll take randomness for 500, Alex.
Like, I get it's a cool gesture, but why do we need to see the actual visual footage instead of just keeping the audio?
To show you that it was actually them doing it.
Yeah, this guy looks like he wants to be on set.
Yeah, that was footage of that guy standing there. Like, okay, I have to wonder if this movie was made on a dare that they could actually get a studio to say yes to all the crazy stuff that they put forth.
Gotta be honest, Drova, this is still not reaching the levels of the Yellow Submarine movie, though.
Nah. Yellow Submarine was definitely more. More. Yes, it was more.
Without whose help, this motion picture would not have been possible. I mean, couldn't you have gotten on like pacing helpers or something?
Oh my god, and we spelled the end with their formation.
The end, yeah.
That's cute.
Get it?
Not
No,
because
this
it means
is
something-
really the
this is they
end.
do not exist! Exclamation mark.
They do not yet exist.
Alright, final thoughts, I suppose. Lives.
Well, that was a lot more boring than I thought. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, the positives. The model work and the puppetry is all well done as usual. And Barry Gray's score, whenever it's here, it helps inject at least some fun and excitement to the movie. Which unfortunately leads me to the biggest killer of the film, the pacing. It's so damn slow. Things take bloody forever to happen. It's like, yeah, I get it. You're a bigger budget and you got more time to kill. Stop wasting my time with the bloody building stuff. It's Star Trek the Motion Picture again, except this came out 13 years before. It's like they think, oh, we'll have more effect shots. That'll make the movie better and more cinematic, as opposed to having a plot that's more cinematic. Yeah, this is it's basically 3 episodes of the show glued together. Zero X stuff, Alan's weird not arc of being whiny and then not being whiny, and the Hood trying to steal stuff.
Now, don't you see, Dwibs? Penelope telling him to mind the gap in his dreams was foreshadowing for how he'd have to mind the gap while fixing the ship's mechanism.
Sure, Jova.
That's why her voice was so eerie during that scene.
That
Somehow he could
That doesn't add up.
No, you don't say.
That's the thing, though. I think even the voice acting has taken a little bit of a hit here. Maybe it's because the actors saw how really kind of bad this material was and how boring that they couldn't really muster up enough energy to carry it through. It's like, it really is like Star Trek the Motion Picture. They have to slow everything down. Yeah, no, again, that's the biggest killer of the movie. The plot wasn't that interesting in the first place, and the fact that it's told so bloody slowly, it just completely just destroys the whole endeavor. And the live action film was bad, but there was at least more stuff happening there. Yeah, I know it's sacrilege comparing something from the puppet era negatively to the live action movie. But it's true, the other film had at least some things going on. This has barely anything. It's like watching Thunderbirds on like half speed. Ironic name, Thunderbirds are go. Yeah, they're going.
To hell.
2 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's me done. This movie is good. Not good at all.
Alright, Shirai.
Yeah, this definitely felt like they put a couple of episodes together and added some extra padding to make it like movie length. Nothing happens for a lot of it, and when stuff does happen, it's so slow. The movie just drags the entire time. At least the filmmakers had fun getting high in the middle of it. For the time, the movie doesn't look that bad, like considering the limitations on the live action stuff they could use. But no, it was pretty alright on that front. But oh boy, this was pretty boring, actually. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it, I think.
Jova?
It's a movie that seems to rely on tripping you out with its funky visuals and that godforsaken dream sequence to distract you from the fact that there is little to no plot going on here. If you're a newcomer, this is not just throwing someone into the deep end. This is like throwing someone into the ocean with an anchor tied to them with how little this movie tells you about the proper lore and whatnot. Like, I knew so little about this universe that I couldn't even tell if during the dream sequence it's supposed to be a trippy version of that restaurant or if it's actually it because this is set in the future and all that. And, like, no, the lack of characterization is really on point here. I don't feel like I know much more about the characters at the end of the sim than I knew when they started, essentially. And the villain, the flipping main villain, is dealt with. Like, sure, yeah, he turns out to be alive in the sequel, but I guess as far as anyone would know, that was the end of him, and he's dealt with in such an anticlimactic fashion way too early into the movie as well. Like, a lot of his decisions boggle the mind, and the pacing is horrendously slow. Like, the one thing I will give them is that this is a nice time capsule to, when the sort of series done with all the puppetry was done, and I'll give them credit. They do seem to have gone above and beyond with the puppets. In fact, it turns out I was mistaken. No, all those people in the background were puppets. Like, commitment to the bit. Like, yeah, of course, they got the little details or the little bits where, for the more complex motions, they have a live-action actor do it, but they're well and subtle enough that you could believe the puppets are doing it, essentially. And the explosions, on point. So, like, if I can give this movie credit for something, it is the effects. The problem is they rely so much on those effects that they sometimes even slow down scenes just to stretch out the runtime, and some can even get repetitive. And again, the plot at the end of the day just feels like an extended episode. Like, I can't tell what about it aside from the set is supposed to help make this feel like an epic movie. Like, even the Simpsons movie, which some may argue was an extended episode, still felt like it had the stakes and chops to ascend it to movie status, essentially. This feels like something I could have seen in just any episode, and I wouldn't be surprised if this even got reran as, like, multiple episodes at some point in time. The actors are doing good, the music when it's there is fine. That being said, this seems like something you'd have to be a super duper gigantic fan to even have an understanding, let alone enjoying, essentially. So, I'd say you just watch this as like a so bad it's good venture, or maybe a bit of a snark and gaggle routine. Yeah, more like of the roasting variety, essentially. Like, I won't act like it's completely irredeemable, but this movie feels like it really has no value aside from laughing at how crazy and stupid it gets.
I know that MST3K covered one of the Captain Scarlet movies, but I don't think they did stuff like Title Thunderbirds. Let me see.
I wonder how. That's a good segue. Dwibs, how well did the Captain Scarlet movies turn out in comparison?
There are no Captain Scarlet movies.
Well, made for TV, at least what Wikipedia tells me.
Okay.
No, at best they're just like compilation films.
Oh, that's what they're labeled, because there's this one called Revenge of the Mysteros for Mars. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
It says here it's a compilation. My bad. Alright, as for my final thoughts, I believe very short anyway. This was a slog to go through, and I appreciate it only for the artistic value for the puppetry, because there is a gem of a good story here, but it just doesn't work because it's way too stretched. Some people want to go to Mars, they have difficulty at the beginning, they take some time to actually get there. We skip to them meeting, the rock monsters. One of the guys back on Earth has insecurities and has a trippy acid dream about his wanting to be fiance, and eventually the people on Mars has to, have a rush re-entering on Earth that has to be saved at the last second. The end. Again, gem of a good story, needed to be elaborated better. Everything else is technically fine. Acting, music, the puppetry model, I really enjoy it. I can see why Trey and Matt were fans of these two, try to make a parody of that. But no, it still needed some work. It's clear a case where people in the making team were led themselves too much by their own enthusiasm. But that's pretty much it. What can you do about it?
Well, that was lukewarm. Theo, do you think you can take the sleigh to someplace warmer?
Well, okay.
Faster.
Well, we were talking about rock snakes. Honestly, I think the best way to celebrate Christmas is to actually go deeper into the bowels of the earth specifically. Join us next time as we witness the not first at all, if I recall correctly, but the first major theatrical adaptation of Jules Verne's Journey to the Center of the Earth. See ya.
See you then.
Bye.